Now, Celeb Secrets is here hanging out with Josh Ross, and you have some very, very exciting things coming up in 2023. We're going to get into all of that. But to start us out, can you talk a little bit about who you are as an artist as well as your musical beginnings?
I'm originally from Ontario, Canada. Currently living in Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, just I grew up a huge sports player, whether it be football, hockey, motocross. I kind of did all the different sports, and through those years, it led me to a football scholarship. It kind of brought me to music. So music ended up being kind of a saving thing for me in a moment where sports was ending. I had two ankle surgeries. Kind of just started picking up the guitar and finding an outlet for, I guess, my feelings and kind of the things that were going on in my life. And I entered some music competitions in Canada, which kind of led me to meet some more people and ultimately brought me to Nashville.
Now, I know this is a super hard question, but if someone were to stumble across you as an artist, how would you describe your music in 3 words?
I'd probably go raw, emotional, and fun.
I mean, obviously you're the expert, but just from listening to your music, I completely agree. Speaking of music, I know that you have a few singles out. Could you dive into those singles as well as the meaning behind each one?
So I released First Tasty Gone about a year ago this time, and that ended up being kind of a song that changed. I'd like to say it's a song that's kind of done the most for me in regards to building my foundation in music, and it was a true story, kind of a fluke how it happened. I was supposed to record a different song, and I was going through some stuff in my life at that time, and I had the idea with my friend Mason, and yeah, we wrote that and put it out, and it was my first song to kind of get on some bigger playlists, and that ultimately led me to meet my management team and my label, and very thankful for First Days Gone, and then we were like, what to do next, because that song was kind of like piano ballad. I didn't want to get pinned as like just a ballad player, so we wrote On a Different Night. It was up in the air to like do something kind of polar opposite from First Days Gone, and we put On a Different Night out, and it's been the song that continues to kind of grow more and more each week. I got to play it at the CFL halftime show, which is like the Canadian Super Bowl basically, which was really, really cool with Tyler Howard and Jordan Davis, and yeah, it's been neat to see that, and then that led us to Trouble, and Trouble is a real story from basically a message I left someone asking her to come back home, and I'd had the idea for about 4 or 5 months with my friend Mason, and kind of the timing worked out well with the line of like, if you could, would you just come back home? And that ended up being kind of the hook for the song, and so far it's been the most received song from fans, and just in general the response has been really great so far, so it's been cool to watch that one grow.
Now, I know that the music video for Trouble just dropped, so could you talk a little bit about the meaning behind that video as well as the process of creating it?
Trouble, if you're like, when you're listening to the lyrics, you probably expect it to be like in a bar or some sort of situation like that, and On a Different Night we kind of did that bar video situation, and we thought for this one it'd be cool to kind of do something outside the box, and originally had it as a construction work. I wanted to be a construction worker in the video, and then Wales from Whaletail Media, he was like, what if we did you as a firefighter and kind of the struggles of being a firefighter and going through maybe a situation like that. Luckily enough, we had a lot of great volunteers for the video, and Wales had just a really great vision for what the song could mean outside of the typical maybe bar kind of music videos. So it was a lot of fun. I got to be a firefighter. My 6-year-old self was living it up that day, and yeah, it was really, really cool.
Now, all 3 singles are great. Is this a part of maybe an upcoming project?
We're definitely going to do a couple more singles. Ultimately, I kind of have like this vision and idea for like an album or a couple EPs. So kind of working towards that. Definitely going to be recording a lot before we get on the road this year, just because we're going to be gone quite a bit. So definitely a project I'm hoping come fall time.
Genrebending is getting super, super popular within country music, and you mentioned taking a lot of inspiration from other genres, whether it be pop or whatever. So what are your opinions on this?
Country definitely is my genre, and it's definitely what I love or I listen to. I think for me though, it comes down to just kind of lyrical, the lyrics of a song, and I'm a fan of all genres, and I feel like I've been so heavily influenced with so many different ones. So I think, for me, I feel like when I put out a body of work, it's going to have a lot of different it's gonna be a really wide range. It's not gonna be just like straight down the middle country. It's not gonna be pop. It's not gonna be rock. There's gonna be a bunch of different things. So I think it's cool how the the kind of rules and the barriers are kind of being broken. And if come to me, I want to put it on an album just kind of has a bunch of everything and let people listen to what they enjoy of my music. So
I know it varies from song to song, but where do you typically draw inspiration for new music?
honestly, just I'm fortunate to have gone through quite a bit different life situations, whether that be relationships or moving different countries and traveling. And I just try to pull from stuff that's either going on in my life or the people around me. And yeah, I think being just honest in music really listeners can really see and kind of hear through stuff if it's not legitimate. And I feel like me being truthful lets the listeners really get to know me. So
one of the words that you use to describe your music is raw, and you can really tell that your music is really real, really vulnerable. So how do you kind of channel that ability to be open in your music? Because I know that can be hard.
yeah, I think I'm getting better. I would like to say at the whole vulnerability thing. And honestly, the more I'm letting myself just be, stay emotional in a song, I think the rewards are kind of coming on the other side of that. But yeah, it's definitely difficult. I think at the end of the day, people are judging. It's not, it's your art, it's your creation, but it is definitely not just that for me too. It's also the feelings. So it definitely can be hard at times. You can read things where maybe somebody's not so positive about something, and it's hard when it is your emotions. You put it on paper and then turning it into a song. So
now I want to transition and talk a little bit more about touring. I know that you have a lot of very, very exciting stuff coming up. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So right now we kick off April with Lee Brice, which will be really great. Lee's one of my favorites growing up, and I think I'm gonna learn a lot from him. It'll be my first time kind of doing arenas and that kind of stuff, which is going to carry me into June, July, and August, which is with Nickleback and Brantley Gilbert, which is just crazy to think I'm going to be traveling, all North America and everywhere through the states that I haven't been. And I'm really blessed with the opportunity. And Chad's been so great to me from Nickleback, and Brantley. We were all out for dinner a couple weeks ago, and just really cool to kind of hang around them and see and just even hear stories of kind of what they've been through and where they're at. So really looking forward to it. Looking forward to kind of playing with new songs and see what people like during the live show, so we can determine what songs to put on an album down the road.
Now, on the road during your set, what can fans really expect to see?
Yeah, I mean, I only get whether it be 25 or 30 minutes, so it's I'm gonna try to take people quick on maybe a little emotional roller coaster that I like to say I go through, but definitely for the Nickelback stuff is keeping the up tempo and definitely ending it on a high note before Brantley, because his show's gonna be really crazy and he's awesome. So I'll probably play one or two slower-ish songs, but then the rest of it's going to be, kind of rocking and fun.
Now, lastly, Josh, we are Celeb Secrets. So do you have any secrets about either yourself or your music that fans really wouldn't expect?
I think people are starting to figure it out, but definitely emotional. I'm definitely an emotional person, and trying to start embracing that. I know most people, might think, maybe that's not their first impression of me, and maybe that's, I definitely have two sides to me, but definitely the emotional side, something I think that a lot of people just don't know and are slowly figuring it out. And I think that's why people are connecting, hopefully through the music. And I appreciate everybody that, reaches out with their messages and kind of what they're going through in life. And if my songs can kind of help, that's the most rewarding thing, honestly. So.